All right, here we go. Let's get it. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork that you will not get anywhere else. You see it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sunrise here in Jupiter High School. Out here in my trash talking trackies, in between these beautiful, beautiful white lines on top of some beautiful, beautiful field turf. You already know the memories it brings back. Every time I step on a football field, it takes me back to the gridiron. It takes me back to the sport that taught me so much about being a man, so much about business, so much about teamwork, so much about my philosophy as an adult. The sport that I absolutely love, that I absolutely spent my entire childhood being dedicated to. All right, so as far as today's Move Swiftly thought, seeing that I am recording this early May, basketball seasons are ending, track seasons are ending, the spring sports are starting to come to a close, and you already know that season, that football season is upon us, and the air is getting a little lighter around here. It's football season, and for me personally, particularly very excited because last year was a very, very good year for the teams in which first of all, not all the teams, we'll say I went basically two out of three this year in terms of the teams that I personally affiliate. We'll say this. We'll say two out of four. Right? So the four teams that I truly, for nationally known football organizations that I'm truly dedicated to is, first of all, the Good Counsel Falcons, for obvious reasons. That's my alma mater. Also, Stony Brook Seawolves, because that's my alma mater, had a rough year. So Good Counsel Falcons had a great year. They won the CAC championship. Stony Brook Seawolves went opposite. They went 0-10. They lost all their games, went completely winless. Also at the real national level, I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan. Had the greatest year of all years, They won the Natty, got that championship, went undefeated, and the Washington Commanders did not. All right, so like I said, went 2 for 4, and because went 2 for 4, because again, with my teams, my personal teams, we had 2 championships among the teams that I personally cheer for. Like I said, Good Counsel Falcons and the Michigan Wolverines. 2 championships. Well, one was a championship at the high school level in the CAC, which is basically a national championship, but also like I said, the University of Michigan won the actual national championship. And now the question becomes, because we are approaching football season, because it's that time, because, again, what you did last year doesn't mean a motherfucking thing anymore. The question now has to become, look, can you go back to back? Can you go back to back? Because you already know what they're going to say if you don't. Last year's championship was a fluke. All right, just winning one does not suffice in this game. What you do in 1 year does not suffice in this game. What you do over the span of multiple years, that's what builds legacies. That's what builds character. That's what teaches you all the things that you're going to need as an adult. All right, it's not enough. It's not enough to show up to your job and, give it your all one day. It's got to be consistent. Can you go back to back? Can you have multiple good days? It's not enough for me to show up to these workouts and say, okay, I killed it one day, or show up to one of these races and dominate one race or win one race. No, can you win multiple races? Not enough to go on a date, meet a significant other and go on one date. The question is, can you go back to back, baby? Can you go back to back? Can you keep showing up? That has got to be the ultimate question. And this is why I love how it just fits. The game of football, it just fits in business. It fits in the way of life. It fits in how you teach your employees and how you, develop your staff, develop your mission, develop your goals, develop your products, develop your services, develop the way in which you service people. You have to consistently ask the question, how does this decision that I make expand over how will it affect? How will it make an effect, and how will it make a positive impact over the span of multiple years? And I'll give you a quick example. The year was 2004 when I was on the JV team at Good Counsel, and we went undefeated. It was the second team that I've been a part of. I was actually captain on that team. Went undefeated, and the varsity at that point this was the first time that the varsity had ever beaten DeMatha, right? And I remember one of the main varsity coach that everyone in the Good Counsel community looks up to. His name is Coach Kevin McFadden, because he pretty much served as the liaison between Good Counsel and the college coaches, and which in turn, made us into the nationally known football organization that we are today. All right. So I remember it was the week in which we beat DeMatha. So the way it happened is we beat DeMatha that Wednesday, and then the Friday night, the varsity goes and beats the Mathers. So it was like a 2 for 2. We kicked the Mathers ass twice, and it was feeling good, all right? So the next week we played Gonzaga, and we were having a shitty practice. I mean, as JV guys, we were having a shitty practice. And again, like I said, Coach McFadden was that guy who was always looking for JV guys, looking for freshman guys, always recruiting, always on the job, always about it. And we were just having a really shitty practice because, again, we felt like we made it. We won, just beat the main team, and, you know, let's move on, right? So here's what he did. He made us run. He made us just start the whole practice over. He said, look, you guys just go run down and back. Let's start everything over. Let's refresh. Let's just, you know, hit it from scratch. And then he gave us a speech, and it's something I want you guys to carry with you, all right? He says, look, we number one, but I'm scared now. I'm scared. We're number one, but I'm scared because now we are the hunted. We have a big ass target on our back because we just won that championship. And it brings me back to the question that I asked to open up this story. Can you go back to back, and are you really about it? Or was it just a one-off thing in which, oh yeah, you just won that year, but the real championship, because you already know what's going on. You already know what Gonzaga's saying. Gonzaga's saying, look, we had 2 first-rounders going to this year's NFL draft. So you already know that's what's going to happen, right? Are you ready to have success over the span of multiple years? Because that's what builds legacies. That's what builds character, right? Main character, and by the way, before I even go, I forgot, I gotta make sure I mention this. I'll probably do a full video on this, but I did see the schedule for 2024, and Good Counsel will be actually out here in South Florida. So they play Columbus. If you're in the Good Counsel football program or in the community, make sure you hit me up, because I will definitely be at that game. Love to talk to the guys, and, you know, see some old faces. Is gonna be great. I'm definitely pulling up to that. So anyway, with all that being said, main website to check out, makeyourmove.com. That's MAKEYAMOVE.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. Aswand, Cruickshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.